say, if you're out of the huddle, you're out of the huddle. And you don't want to be out of the huddle. And so that's why we find it. I never would let any backup, no one, I don't want anyone around, I don't want anyone.
No, that's true. It's a good way to put it, yeah. Can't make the club in the tub. Guys in the training room all the time, getting passed up.
So I once played about 27 games in a row. It's a big deal. Thank you very much.
So what you're saying is the long-term effects are not as bad on you as maybe.
No, see, that's what I'm talking about. Taking everything as a hit or a knock, right? You're gonna come back and trying to give you a compliment. 480,000 games in a row. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I did lose count somewhere.
It was unbelievable. But I mean, we could go on and on about that, but Brett, you've been out of it a few years. How's the transition, missing it? Like just the pure watching and missing. For me, it was, the hardest thing was playoff. Because that's what we kind of got used to. That's what mattered. Summertime was fun to just be around the guys, but playoff time was what really mattered, and that's why you play. And so that's what's hardest for me, was around this time of year, for the first few years, I was, I'm kind of away with it. I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of numb now, and I don't feel it as much, but
I guess if there was ever an itch, if you will, it was around playoff time. For me, of course, I retired a couple of times, a couple plus one. But when I really retired in the following year, Deanna was inside, and it was the first Sunday of the year, and I was outside doing something, and when she had texted me or called or something, said, "Hey, game's wrong," and I was like, I didn't.
You remember?
It didn't, it wasn't like it's Saturday.
Right.
Got one more day.
Right.
And I was kind of in and out. I didn't go in and turn it on and grab some popcorn. But I just didn't, I was kind of, like you said, numb. I just didn't really, I didn't think I needed to be there. It wasn't one of those things like, I should be in the huddle. But where I really struggled was the next day. Monday morning, I got up, and like the first thought was, I feel pretty good.
So when is 5 years up? It seems like, are we close? Is it next year?
I think so.
Next year. Because I really am, I'll be honest with you, I really am looking forward to, now Canton is it's a little town, and they love it. It's their little county Hall of Fame. It's pro football, it's not the NFL Hall of Fame, it's a little county fair that they throw every summer. It's really sweet, it's cool. But there's a group of guys, and I know that that's coming up. Any thoughts on that one? I know you want to say, oh, wait till it happens, but don't do that. Let's be honest.
Well, I really have not put much thought into it. I know in the immediate future, next July, I think it's 17th or 18th, we're going to do the induction year, and then the following season, so roughly a year from now, maybe even less, we'll do a game where we unveil the jersey at halftime, and then I guess the following year, if I was the following summer, I think, if I got that right, would be potentially the NFL Hall of Fame. So there's a lot, and also I was telling Rob, Mississippi Hall of Fame is coming up a week after Green Bay next year. So
that's great.
So there's a lot of stuff, in the works, and yeah, I am looking forward to it. A lot of years and a lot of people I played with, a lot of coaches and memories, and obviously the history with my departure from Green Bay and all those things has made wonderful news, good or bad. But I think we're well beyond that.
It all fades. It really does.
Well,
just over time,
it does. And
like Joe and I, Joe and I were like, oh, it was brutal. I told Joe all the time, I went as good as it could go, and everyone benefited. But over time, we actually, it's time. And So I would give you
you're
that.
right.
I would give you that. It's time, and I would have said 15 years ago, we'll never speak, never. And we speak. It just happens over time because it's about football. It's the love of the game, and people who love the game. And people that don't love the game, that's fine, but just that's not my kind of guy. But people who love the game, and there's a lot of guys who play who don't love the game. It's weird.
Yeah.
They find their way out over about 2 or 3 years. You see the big stars, and they make a big rookie splash, and then 5 years they're gone. You can just know for sure.
You play with guys. Rob and I, we can talk about all the time. I mean, the guys that start getting in the locker room, before preseason games some year, and say, I won't play too much. I don't want to get hurt. Or they start saying, I won't play 10 years. And you start kind of saying how long you're going to play and what you're playing for, instead of just, man, I'm happy to play. And this is fun. Preseason games to me, I wanted to play because it sure would be sitting over there watching. I mean, I want to play the whole game. That's what you practice and meet for.
I once left a bunch of hot dogs in Cortez Kennedy's helmet at halftime in a preseason game. And he went out and actually ate them on camera. And so stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just looking back at the funnest, Reggie White. I mean, Reggie was a dear friend. We both broke in at the same year in USFL. And he got to be friends with my dad because he would call my dad. I don't know how it happened, but I would call my dad about agents and different things. And so whenever we played, and Reggie was unique in this way. You knew him. He was stone cold. I mean, he could run over everybody. One hand, you go here, you go down. And a lot of times I was the last one, right? And I'm down. And immediately, the second I was down, Reggie like, Steve, how you doing? I'm like, not so good. So let me help you out. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. How's your dad? He's all right. Mom good? Everyone's good? Yeah. And he wanted to chat. Like, Reg.
We'll be back next play. God loves you, Steve.
I know the Packers are playing. That I do know.
I think the Falcons do
Okay,
too.
fill me in. I appreciate it. But
They're not big
that's
for
right.
Atlanta.
Only Atlanta can lose the game and go 4-8 and lead the division.
Yeah. When we flew in, it's obviously been a while, but as we were flying in, I'm like, now I see what Atlanta feels like.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh boy, this is not going to be good.
I used to be
The
saying,
team's good, and really good, but then you throw in, there's always surprises, but I think they get the first flight out.
any final thoughts, Brett?
I think we covered it, but it's exciting to be back.
Welcome home, Brett.